history of setting trends, and McDonald's seems to be loving it. In the latest issue of Bloomberg Businessweek, we look at how the fast food chain has been taking cues from minorities and making it mainstream. The magazine's assistant managing editor, Jim Ellis, joining us now with this story. Interesting story, Jim. So the ethnic consumer, McDonald's is watching what they do and what they like more closely.
Yeah, basically what they're doing is taking marketing cues from ethnic communities. They're discovering as the population changes, as we get, sort of minorities as a greater share of population, they're not only big in numbers, but also they tend to be taste leaders. In other words, we've seen it in the music business for years where, sort of black America has been sold to white consumers forever, whether it's Elvis Presley, whether it's Madonna. Lots of people take their cues and then turn it into mainstream culture. They're thinking that they can do the same thing using advertising and the menus that they have, and that those will be things that everybody will want.
I was going to say, McDonald's has always targeted different minorities with different advertising campaigns, but here what they're trying to do is they want to see what minorities want to eat and then serve it in mainstream venues.
Yeah, I mean, the head of marketing at McDonald's noticed when he ran the West Coast operation that, a lot of things that they thought were targeted at Hispanics suddenly became very popular in white communities and actually outperformed there than they did in Hispanic communities. So they've gotten something now that they call leading with ethnic insights, where they look at ethnic consumers and then use that as something that's going to be big in the mainstream in 5 or 7 years.
And it's not just a change of thinking, if you will, Jim. I mean, it's actually producing financial results, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean, they're saying that one of the reasons that they were up about 1.5% in the first quarter in the U.S. is because they're getting more feel for the ethnic consumer, and that's becoming mainstream. The other thing is it's actually affecting the types of products they're putting on the menu. The combinations that they're using in the fruit smoothies now are combinations that actually really connected with Hispanic consumers, and they've sort of taken that mainstream. And things like the advertising campaign behind the lattes and the coffees are really big and have connected with black community, and therefore they're taking those mainstream.
Was this a gamble for McDonald's to kind of shift strategy like this, because they do come away from the usual sort of taste tests and interest group advertising and marketing? It
is a little bit gamble because it turns on its head the typical way that companies market. I mean, they often say we have a mainstream campaign, and then we'll have these separate campaigns aimed at what they used to call special markets or minority groups. And instead, McDonald's is saying is increasing as the population increasingly goes minority, then we're going to look at them and sort of gamble that they're going to be taste leaders. And it's worked in the past, it's worked in all sorts of industries, and so they're just doing a smart marketing move.
Which has, by the way, we say minority, but there are now many large states that most of the people that live in those states are minorities.
Yeah, if you look at Texas, if you look at California, they are now officially, I guess, majority minority states where less than 50% of the population is white. And so therefore, you've got to start thinking about the way you market differently, and it becomes a true sort of multicultural market.
It's a good point. I'm just curious. I mean, other companies kind of watching this strategy or also adopting a similar strategy?
Yeah, I mean, in the consumer products business, this has already been big. A lot of people have got a lot of experience sort of targeting Hispanics, especially as the fastest growing group, but also African American communities have been big consumers for a long time. So this is really now a mainstream advertising campaign.
All right. Hey, Jim, thanks so much for joining us. Jim Ellis from Bloomberg Businessweek, assistant managing editor. We are going to